The Chiefs are coming off of a monster win against the Raiders at Arrowhead Stadium. And on this Victory Monday, we're going to take a closer look at some of the mind-blowing stats from this win. But if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Michael Darcy, and you're watching the KC Sports Report. Do me a big time favor and hit that like button, share this video so other Chiefs fans can watch it, and also hit that subscribe button. We are trying to hit 15K on this channel before the end of the Chiefs season, and we can definitely hit that goal, I think, in under a month. So hit that subscribe button if you've not done so already. Tell a friend to subscribe. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the first stat, and that is that there's only been one quarterback since 2000 that has had 200 passing yards and 3 passing touchdowns on the first 3 drives of the game. And that quarterback is Patrick Mahomes against the Raiders. He is the only quarterback since 2000 to have done that. 200 passing yards and 3 passing touchdowns on the first 3 drives of the game. Mahomes was magnificent against the Raiders, and he was a big reason why they were able to just destroy their AFC West rival. And he does not get enough credit for how good he has been, not just over the past couple of weeks, but over the entire duration of this season. From week 1 to week 7, Mahomes has been consistently the best quarterback in football. Right now, he's the MVP, and I don't really think it's that close. And I also want to go ahead and pull up this stat, kind of just going over the metrics in this game. The Chiefs scored 31 points, like we all know. They had 30 first downs, and they outgained the Raiders in total offensive yards, 434 to 95. The Raiders were only able to muster 95 yards of total offense in this game to the Chiefs' nearly 500. That just shows you how dominant this Chiefs offense was, and I think this is the biggest stat that really goes, unnoticed or, underappreciated. The Chiefs controlled the time of possession in this game. I mean, just look at it. The Chiefs had the ball for 42 minutes and 8 seconds of a 60-minute football game. The Raiders only had it for just under 18 minutes. I mean, there's a reason why that offense struggled, and it's because they just weren't on the field. When the Chiefs offense was on the field, not only did they score on their first 4 offensive drives, actually their first 5 offensive drives, but they were able to, go on long, sustained drives that just completely wore out the Raiders. The Raiders defense isn't good. Their secondary's got a lot of question marks. Caillou Blue has been one of the most hated players of Raider Nation, and for good reason. He's god-awful. But the Raiders defense isn't that good to begin with, and when they're on the field for 42 minutes of this game, it's just pretty clear to see why the Chiefs offense just wore them down. I mean, it was, long drive after long drive, and then after the Chiefs offense went on a 7, 8, 9-minute drive, then the Raiders offense would come out and go 3 and out and not be able to get a first down and keep the chains going. And so that defense was just tired, exhausted, and they had no answers for what the Chiefs were doing. And I want to go ahead and pull this up because I think this stat is just absurd. I mean, this might be the biggest stat that you've seen over social media, is that the Chiefs in this game had more first downs than the Raiders had offensive plays. That is absurd. I cannot even believe that the stat that you're seeing on your screen is real. The Chiefs had more first downs with 30 than the Raiders ran offensive plays. In what world is that ever happened? Like, I just can't even believe that that stat is true. And a crazier stat that, we didn't really talk about in this video yet, but we talked about it in the postgame show yesterday. The Chiefs held the Raiders to 3 first downs this entire game. 2 passing, and then 1 came from a penalty. So the Raiders were only able to, muster 2 first downs actually moving the ball on offense, and the last team to do that goes all the way back to 2008. The last team that did that was the Oakland Raiders. So the Raiders just have a history of putting up horrendous offensive performances, and Geno Smith was a dumpster fire in this game. I mean, Geno Smith was horrible. They didn't have Brock Bowers or Jacoby Myers, but they abandoned the run. Ashton Genty just was a non-factor in this game. Again, 95 yards of total offense for the Raiders. They had 70 yards passing, so that means that rushing attack mustered 25 yards of offense. How do you expect to be the Chiefs? You just can't do it. And I think it just goes to show you how successful the Chiefs were and truly dominant that they were in this game. That was probably, without a doubt, maybe the most dominant performance that I've ever seen any football team play at any level. I'm not talking about, just in the NFL, college football, high school football, peewee football. I mean, they could not move the ball on offense. The Chiefs defense was smothering, and the Chiefs offense just toyed with them. I mean, you saw it, in that game where they brought in Gardner Minshew when they were in the red zone, and they had Mahomes line up as a running back. And the Chiefs have a history with Andy Reid of kind of messing around with the Raiders. If you guys remember a couple years ago, they literally did ring around the Rosie and all ran around in a circle and then scored a touchdown on that play. So it's like they have a history of embarrassing the Raiders. And I saw, a tweet on Twitter that was basically saying that with the way the Chiefs played in this game, they did not respect the Raiders in any way whatsoever. They just didn't respect them. And you saw them practically do whatever they wanted to do offensively, whether it was run the football, whether it was take a deep shot downfield. If they wanted to find this receiver, Rashee Rice was open. He had 2 touchdowns in his first game back. Travis Kelce was the leading receiver in this game. The Chiefs offense feasted. Everybody's got to eat. Everybody ate. The Chiefs offense ate up that Raiders defense and just blew them out, embarrassed them 31-0 in a game that probably just ended the Raiders season. Now they're 2-5. I mean, I don't even know where Pete Carroll goes from here. And you saw him, they panned to him over on the sideline when the Raiders were down 31-0. And I can't remember what play happened, but Pete Carroll, with his hands on his knees, just looked like a broken man. The Chiefs broke Pete Carroll. They broke the Raiders. And even though, we hate the Raiders because they're in the AFC West, this has not been a rivalry for the better part of the last 15, 20 years. I mean, the Raiders have been the second worst team in football since 2002. They're a joke. They're a laughingstock of a franchise. And so I love to see the Chiefs go out there on Sunday and just completely just put belt to ass against a team that doesn't even deserve to take the field with you. And I want to talk more about this complete ass beating, and we'll do that right after a word from our fantastic sponsors. This video is sponsored by my friends over at DM Injury Law. Injured in an accident, you could be entitled to significant compensation, but time is critical. Rely on the experienced personal injury attorneys at DM Law, Kansas City and Missouri's top injury law firm. DM Law is a full-service personal injury practice supported by a large team of investigators, case managers, medical records specialists, and more. And best of all, you don't pay unless they win. DM Law operates on a contingency fee basis, meaning no fees unless they win your case. And they also provide free consultations. So if you've been injured, don't wait. You can contact DM Law today for a free consultation and learn how they can help you pursue the compensation you deserve. Let them handle the fight while you focus on healing. Hurt in a car wreck? Call Mike. Remember, Mike's got this. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement. Thanks to DM Injury Law for sponsoring this video. Huge thanks to the sponsors that have supported me and this channel all football season long. I think the Chiefs just sent a warning shot to the NFL. Based on how they've played over the last month, beating the Lions by multiple scores, beating the brakes off the Baltimore Ravens, putting up 28 against the Jaguars in a losing effort, just blowing out the Raiders 31-0. The Chiefs have consistently shown this offense is getting better. And I think that's the scariest thing, is that the Chiefs have been a defensive-oriented football team over the last 2 or 3 years. You won a Super Bowl back in 2023 where the offense was average at best and they relied on that defense. Now you're starting to see this offense come around. And the plan that they had of, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and Hollywood Brown, this was the first game they all three played on the field at the same time. And so the offense is taking shape. They're flourishing in front of our eyes, and they're only going to get better. Rashee Rice is going to get even more acclimated into this offense, get in more football shape, and he's going to be, just a terrorizer to NFL defenses. I don't even know how you go about stopping him. And I think this offense has, just shown over the past month that they're here to stay. The Chiefs are back. The Chiefs offense has arrived, and the Chiefs are fun to watch again. The Chiefs offense is fun again. And I think it's because for the first time in 2 years, you've had all of your personnel there fully healthy. And I am just so extremely excited to see what this team looks like against Buffalo. Once we get to the playoffs, how is this team going to stack up against the Indianapolis Colts, or, even a team like the Bills, or, whatever team ends up making it out of the AFC North? I think this Chiefs team has shown you, at least over the past month, that they are better than they were last year. On offense, I think this defense is deep, and I don't know how anybody is going to stop this team in January, given the fact they have that playoff pedigree, and you also still have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and you went to a Super Bowl last year, ran through the AFC with a far, and I do mean far less, superior team. So, I think the Chiefs' good news just keeps on growing. They're going to get even better, and right now they're 4-3. You saw the Chargers get blown out by the Colts yesterday. You saw the Broncos escape the Giants, but they haven't looked good over the past 2 weeks. The Raiders are a dumpster fire. The AFC West is still the Chiefs' division to lose, and even though they're in second place right now, or maybe they're tied for second place, it's a good spot to be in. You control your own destiny, so to speak, and I do think that's going to be a must-watch game, when you play Denver in November, and also when you play the Chargers again. The Chiefs can absolutely flip the division, and I think this team is starting to fire on all cylinders, and I don't know how you stop it. So drop your take down in the comment section below. How are you feeling on this Victory Monday after that dominant 31-0 win over the Raiders at Arrowhead Stadium? I think this is just a sign of more great things to come. We do have some injury news to get to. We'll get to in another video, but I appreciate you guys for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe for more daily Chiefs content. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video. And as always, go Chiefs.